So I think it's time we need to get ready for Christmas Eve service. What is this? There's a little present here. I like presents. Let's see what's inside. Oh, my soul! Look at this. Oh, look at this. It's a nativity scene. And it's got fences. Oh, I'm going to put this down here. And it's got a camel and my donkey and a shepherd and a cow and a sheep. And that looks like one of the wise ones. That goes with the camel. And there's another wise one, goes with the other camel. And here's the third wise person. Oh, okay, this is Joseph. That's who that is. And then an angel. Oh, that's baby Jesus and Mary. Oh, you know what we should do? I think that we should use this and tell the story. The Christmas story. What do you think? You think that's a good idea? I think that's a great idea. So, here's the stable, and we're going to put the animals, because they live by the stable. The donkey goes here, and what we're going to do is we're going to tell the story of the birth of Jesus. So if we tell the story correctly, we actually have to start, I think, with these three. Because these three, the camel, let's put the box away, live in a foreign land. And so they're way over here in a foreign land. The camel's outside, and the king is here, and this guy's here, and this guy is here. And one night, they look up and they see this bright, bright star in the sky. And they have to figure out what this star means. And so they have this conversation. And they come together and they start talking to each other about, what does the star mean? I don't know. What do you think? We should investigate to see what the star means? You know what? The star might be a sign. Sign of what? The sign of a birth of a new king. Well, if it's a new king, then we need to go and bring gifts to the king. And so these three take the camel and they start on a journey. But remember, they're following a star. So that means they can only journey at night. And they journey when they can see the star. And then during the daytime, they're going to have to sleep. And so at night, we have these three wise ones following that star, the great light in the sky, because they're thinking that they will find a new king, the birth of a king, symbol or indicated by this great star in the sky. And so these three are taking a long journey to find where the star is going to lead them. And they each bring gifts with them. Meanwhile, while that's happening, way over here in Nazareth, we have Mary and Joseph. And the emperor says that everybody needs to be counted. And so everybody needs to go to their hometown, the town that their family came from. And so Joseph is saying to Mary, he goes, Mary, we have to go to Bethlehem, the city of David, because I'm from David. And Mary's like, but Joseph, I'm almost going to give birth. And Joseph says, I know, Mary, but I will help you. And so they set off with their donkey and Mary, and they travel and they go down the hills. And Joseph helps Mary. Donkey comes carrying their stuff, and they travel, and Mary's tired because she's almost ready to give birth to a baby, and they keep traveling, and the donkey's with them, and they're traveling, and Joseph's like, and Mary's like, Joseph, do you know where you're going? And Joseph's like, oh, I think so. And Mary's like, why don't you ask for directions? And Joseph's like, oh no, I know which way to go. And Mary's like, okay, Joseph, I trust you. And they keep traveling, and they keep traveling. And Joseph helps Mary along the way, and he helps her when she needs help, and when she gets tired, they rest, and they keep going. And finally, they come to Bethlehem. And Mary's like, Joseph, we need to find a place to stay because I'm going to have a baby. And Joseph's like, okay, Mary, you wait here and I will go into town. So Joseph goes into town, and he goes to one inn, but there's no room at that inn. And he goes to another inn, and there's no room at that inn. And then he goes to another inn, and there's no room there. But the owner of the inn says that they had a stable in the back, and they could use the stable if they needed to. And so Joseph goes to Mary and says, Mary, there's no room in the inn. There's no place for us to stay, but there's a stable. And Mary says, well, that's okay. We'll take the stable because we need to go somewhere. We need to have a place to stay. And so they go and they get to the stable just in time. Get the stable, and there's a cow there, and there's a sheep there. And that's okay, because at least it's a place that's out of the wind and the cold, and Mary can safely relax. And while they're there, Mary gives birth to a little tiny baby boy, and they name him Jesus. And angels appear in the sky, and they appear to shepherds. The shepherds were a little bit afraid to begin with because they didn't know what the angels were there for, but the angels announced that a great thing had happened, that a baby had been born, the Messiah had been born, that God came to be among the people. And then the angel came and settled above. And meanwhile, as the story goes on, our 3 visitors from the east are traveling along the road to find where the star leads them. And eventually, these 3 show up, bringing gifts of gold and frankincense and myrrh to the little baby that was born in the manger. They followed that star for weeks and weeks and weeks, and they finally come to find not a king in a castle, but a little baby that was born in a manger. And we all know that that baby is baby Jesus. And that's what we celebrate tonight on Christmas Eve. We celebrate the love that God has for us in sending baby Jesus to us. As my shirt says, we're going to party like it's my birthday. It's a picture of Jesus wearing sunglasses. And so this is a party for Jesus' birthday today, as we celebrate the birth of that baby. All those years ago, we still remember. And we are so lucky that God loves us enough to come and be among us in baby Jesus. Have a wonderful Christmas.